Hello everyone and welcome to another The Grand Cat unboxing review, and today we have what? Oh hell yeah, this is Stone Cold Steve Austin, son. What? I said Stone Cold. What? Stone Cold. That's right. Yes, I don't know if I'll be doing any more. I'm gonna drop you on that stack of dimes. You call it, you call it Nick. That's enough of the Stone Cold impersonations. Butchering Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold, yes, one of my favourite wrestlers of all time. I grew up with this guy as basically the main hero of the wrestling story when I was growing up. So it's very, very cool to see this Ultimate Edition Stone Cold Steve Austin. I only have two Ultimate Edition figures. One is Stone Cold, the other is Edge, which should have been the previous video, unless I've made some horrible mistake and uploaded them in the wrong order. And let's take a look at the box, and there he is. There is happy old Stone Cold, 6'2" from Victoria, Texas. The finisher is the Stone Cold Stunner, one of only 3 moves that he really did. The Stone Cold Stunner, stomping the mud hole, stomping the mud hole dry in the corner, and of course the Luthaus Prez. He did other moves. I mean, he did DDTs, he did pile drivers, he did things like that. But Stone Cold was much more of a brawler than he was a technical wrestler. 6-time WWE champion. Should have been champion way more. I mean, what he did with those 6 WWE championships, elevated the business. Especially WrestleMania 14. I'm immediately thinking of when he took on Shawn Michaels in the main event and basically jump-started the Attitude Era from that point onwards. So let us see the little blurb here. This is written. The shattering of glass means only one thing. The Texas Rattlesnake is coming down the aisle, and he's got a Stone Cold Stunner ready for anyone even thinking about getting in his way, even and especially if it's his boss, Mr. McMahon. And that is the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. So let us take a dive into the Ultimate Edition of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So let us... Oh, we also have this lovely artwork on the side, which is very, very good. This kind of pose is, what I think of, when he comes into the ring and he goes to the 4 turnbuckles. But you can see here that the hands that they've given you the closed fists, as you can see here, and they've given you the finger point. And you all know that it shouldn't be this finger that is pointing. Anyone that knows the old Stone Cold, as it were. So it's quite cool. You've got the chain around his neck. He didn't always go with chain. The chain is more of his older version. You've got the vest, which is obviously iconic with him. You've got the shirt. You've also got a little Stone Cold cap. Comes with a little microphone, because Stone Cold was rarely without a microphone. This is the first version of the Big Eagle Championship, which is the dark blue in the background rather than the black, which it later became synonymous with. And we also have 3 heads. We have the happy Stone Cold, looks like kind of talkative Stone Cold, and the serious Stone Cold. So very cool. He's got his knee brace. He's got the tattoo of Texas on his ankle. So let us jump right into it, and let's start cutting open and releasing good old Stone Cold. That sounded more like Joe from Family Guy than it did Stone Cold. Yeah, Stone Cold. Right, so let us... You're having a similar problem with Edge trying to get the scissors in here without damaging the box. We have sellotape that needs removed, and the objective is to not damage the box if we can help it. And they seem to really, really not like you getting into the box. They want you to keep this sealed. And I say no to authority. You want me to keep the box, you want me to keep it pristine, you want me to keep it for money. I say no, I want to show my YouTube viewers, all of my grand cats, that, I've accidentally touched the camera. That you can see what is inside of the box, not just what is on the outside of it. So let me just try and get all of these little bits here. Probably not very good entertaining television, but we are getting our way there. We are down to just 2 pieces of sellotape left. And we are done. We made the mistake last time with missing a bit of sellotape and it damaged the box. And when it opens very lovely like this, and we have our wrong finger, which had fallen out there. So here is everything that you get in the figure. So let us look at it piece by piece. So let us remove this first of all. As you can see, it's got a little bit of blurb here. It says Austin 316 because you take your John 316s, well Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. Which was the iconic line that Stone Cold said after winning the King of the Ring, and he was saying it to Jake the Snake Roberts. This looks to be the exact same blurb as that. I'll focus in on it so that you guys can read it. Yeah, this looks like the exact same blurb that was on the Edge Ultimate figure, so I won't bother repeating myself. This is also the same at the bottom. So if you watch the first video, you can see all that stuff. No point in going over it. So let us, first of all, we'll remove the accessories because they are going to fall out. No, maybe we won't. Just going to those 2. Right, so the thing with these figures is that they are locked in, and we need to remove these little plastic bits here so you can see if the camera would focus. I really need something with better autofocus. If there's any settings to make autofocus better, someone please let me know in the comments below because it would make this channel a lot easier. So we have a plastic bit here across the neck, we're going to have to get rid of that. And we also have to get rid of the ones on the ankles, keeping Stone Cold. Oh, and also the wrist here as well, I just saw that there. So last time I tried doing this on camera and it was a horrible mess. You know, I don't see any plastic bit here in the back. Interesting. But let's see here, the best way to do this is if you grab one of these tassels. I'm going to try and do it on camera. If you grab one of these tassels and you pull it up just a little bit so that you can get the scissors in underneath. That is the best way to go around it. But like I said before, the way that I have my camera set up is that this is out in front of me, so I have to stretch over, try and get in here, and it is easier to pull it back. So this time I'm not going to do that. This time I'm going to pause it, and when we come back, the little plastic bits will be off. And we are back, and we have got rid of that stubborn plastic. It took a while. It didn't take a while to get rid of the plastic. I was doing other things. But we are back now. So let us look at good old Stone Cold. So push him out by his legs first. And then hopefully, there we go. And, oh, so Stone Cold has butterfly joints. So that's pretty cool. So I'm guessing that Stone Cold is maybe a bit of a later figure. Or maybe it was just because Edge had the jacket. They couldn't give him the butterfly joints. Butterfly joints are very loose, but they're very, very generous. They go all the way back. So he has his old gold chain, which he used more near the beginning of his career. He still used it a couple of times in his later career, but it was more at the beginning. The shoulders go right up, so you can get a generous T-pose. The double elbow joint is very good, very flexible. Wrist movement. Wrist is exactly the same. I think they've deliberately made the hands the same so that if you want to exchange them for any elite figures, then you can. And that's quite a good idea. In terms of the facial sculpt of Stone Cold, like, I mean, that is perfect. It's very good looking. Like, they've really captured his beady little eyes, as you would say. He has the rotation, on the ball. This is just a swivel joint. Can Austin do sweet chin music? Oh, he can do a very high sweet chin music actually. You can almost do the splits, which is very cool. Double knee joint. Yep. And how does this work? Oh, this actually, this is very flexible. Surprisingly so. I wonder if that's meant to rotate there. Yeah, it looks like it does, but it's also very flexible in itself. So this is quite cool, because generally the knee brace is just a solid piece of plastic, and this is, to my knowledge, the first time that it's actually been movable. You know, the Bionic Redneck. As you can see is the lovely tattoo of Texas, which is obviously his home state. Toe pivot. Ankles are a bit stiff, or they just don't move. Boot movement. Yep, very nice. Toe pivot once again, and it seems to be the same kind of deal with this one. Maybe if you give it a little bit of force, which I don't really want to. Doesn't seem to be much movement forward or backwards with the ankles, but hopefully that isn't going to be too much of an issue for us. Maybe it would move if you give it a little bit more time and effort. So, Stone Cold, very, very cool. Let us check in on his accessories. So, let's look at the microphone first. If it'll freaking come out. I feel like if I push any harder it's going to break, so I'll try pushing it from this side. Yep. Not gonna lie, I thought the microphone would come out easier than this. Oh, Jesus, finally. So it is the Attitude logo. Focus camera. But obviously without the F on it. So you can see there. So they're going with the Attitude logo with it. Let's look at the old Stone Cold cap. And yep, that is certainly the Stone Cold image, Stone Cold logo. Normally it would say like Steve Austin or something on there. Let's just try putting that on Steve. And there you go. Steve wasn't really known as being like a kind of cap wearer. Certainly not of his own merchandise. Don't remember. The Austin 316, this is a t-shirt, you can see. It says Stone Cold in the back. There's no area to open it. Seems quite flexible. So this looks like one of those cases that you remove the arms, you remove the head, and then you clip all this in. I'm not going to do that because honestly, I've never really liked the fabric accessories. I do like the vest. However, vest comes with a little protective thing. It's a bit nice and in shape. And there you are. There's Stone Cold. It's the 3 skulls. It just says Austin 316 on it. Obviously had a lot of these, you know, some that was like DTA, some that was like one more match. Was it one more match? It was OM something or other. I can't remember exactly what it was. But yeah, so this looks quite flexible, looks quite solid. It's got a little bit of writing in here. Let me just try and get that on camera. See exactly what it says. Not exactly the easiest to read. Especially not when the camera doesn't want to freaking focus. Right, I'm trying to do this one-handed. Ah, there you go. It just says TM and copyright 2010 W China. Oh, this is a brand new figure, so I wonder if this is an old vest that maybe they've just put new writing onto it. Reuse of assets there. I was trying to put that back, but that seems to be impossible. Let's look at the title belt, and anyone that knows me knows that I love a good title belt. I am somewhat of a collector. So this is the blue version of the championship. As you can see here, it's got the Attitude logo. That shouldn't be the Attitude logo, that should be the original one. This is also the Attitude. So it makes me think that they've taken the plates off of the black version, and let's go ahead and spoiler this. We have the Undertaker with the black version of the belt, and as you can see, I think this is exactly the same. It's just that this is the blue version. So this isn't an exact version of, you know, the big eagle in its first interpretation. It's just the big eagle but with the dark blue leather on it, which in itself is fine. So that's quite cool. And the last couple of accessories, so just force this back in here. There. The hands, if they would come out. Yes, we have the fist hands, the closed fists, which of course you would know that a middle finger should be pointing upwards on both of those. And the last accessories we have to look at are the heads, which all seem to be quite good. Get a little bit of focus on there. There is your sort of basic look of Stone Cold, you know, just giving the good old stare. And lastly, we have the happy Stone Cold, which puts me in mind generally of the Stone Cold podcast. He's got a couple of marks here on the side of his face and on the nose there, and this is a brand new figure, so that's unusual. Curious. And let's compare that to the head that he has on at the moment, which, yeah, I think I quite like this head. This head's actually pretty cool. I mean, it says a lot about the character. You know, it gives the character some personality rather than just the straight head. But also, you don't want them in a sort of stupid pose. So, let's try changing some things around. So, first of all, can we just... I mean, the thing is, the arms go so far back here, if it would focus, that I think we can just put the jacket on without having to remove the hands, without having to remove the arms. So let's just try doing that. There we are. No problem whatsoever. Very nice, very simple, very easy. Let's put a microphone in one hand, so we can talk some trash, son. And then let's put the title up in this hand. He would generally hold it sort of this way, wouldn't he? It doesn't look quite as good, but you know what, let's just put it around the other way, will we? Have him show it off to the hard cam. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty alright. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool actually. So let's try some alternate hands. Take the hat off. Let's take the chain off as well, if we can. I mean, we can. It's just a case of doing it. There we are. Chain's removed. Put the microphone away. Oh, well, actually, you know, we can keep the microphone in the hand. That's fine. And let's put on the fake middle fingers, will we? Remove this one, put in the other one. And yeah, it's a little bit disappointing that he doesn't have the, you know, the proper middle fingers. You know, it requires a little bit of sort of creative license there. You know, if you kind of do it in the right way, the right angle, you know, people can mistake it for what it is. You know, because it is very iconic. You know, maybe giving someone the fingers before going for the stunner. Like, I think maybe if you posed it in the right way for a photograph, it would look fine. It's just, I mean, like, they obviously knew what they were doing. They couldn't release the middle fingers, and they were like, what's the closest to the middle finger that we can release? You know, that keeps, you know, all our sponsors and all that kind of thing happy. So, let's put on the closed fists, because obviously he did start doing the closed fists. Like at certain points. I think maybe there was a point where WWE was like, you know, like there. See, like you could see him doing that on the top rope. Let's try some of the other heads. So let's just take this off. Just pops off. And put on the more serious face. Little bit of strength required. Don't think it's sitting on exactly properly, but there you are. You can put him into his kind of walk animation, and that puts me in mind of the 99 Royal Rumble. Going to throw 29 other superstars over that top rope, and I'm going to WrestleMania take that championship from The Rock. I cannot stop doing Stone Cold impersonations, and I know I'm not good at it. I'm well aware there are better people at doing it than what I am. So, there we have. There is the Bionic Redneck, the Rattlesnake, the Stone Cold Steve Austin. So let's just put these accessories back just a little bit, and we'll do a little bit of a size comparison. So, who better to do some size comparisons with than, of course, one of his greatest rivals, of course, the dead man, The Undertaker. And The Undertaker, as you can see, quite a bit taller than Stone Cold, as he is meant to be, because Stone Cold is 6'2" and Undertaker is 6'10". So you can see that they've got the size difference absolutely perfectly there. But while we're talking about rivals, you can't forget the King of Kings, Triple H himself. This is one of the WrestleMania Elite Series, and you can see that Stone Cold is eye to eye with Triple H. And of course, where would the unholy alliance be without the higher power? And of course, who could the higher power be? That was a question we all asked ourselves for weeks. And it's me, Austin. Oh, son of a bitch. It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin. And yes, we do indeed have the higher power, Vince McMahon. And let me just remove this silliness. And there you have arguably the greatest rivalry of the entire Attitude Era, which was Stone Cold versus The Boss. And they've made Vince McMahon quite generously buff, I think, here. But I think this is a great comparison shot. If the camera would freaking focus, please. There we go. But yeah, there you have arguably the greatest rivalry in all of wrestling history. simply because people just loved to see Stone Cold give the boss a stunner. So let's do that now, shall we? Why not? Give the people what they ask for. So let us try. So he starts off with the kick. Move Vince into the traditional, having been kicked by the bionic redneck kick, which he is refusing to stand. And then we put some stank on it. We grip the hand over. Obviously go into the leg drop pose and wrap the arm around. And then the best thing to do is just let the legs flow away. And there you have somewhat of the iconic pose of the Stone Cold Stunner on Mr. McMahon. So that is what that looks like. Oh, that's a little bit of hilarious nonsense there for you. I can't remember exactly what Vince McMahon figure this is, but people keep asking me and I keep forgetting what series he comes from because it really is one of the best Vince McMahon figures. But we're not talking about Vince McMahon today, we're talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, some other big rivals. Of course, the Heartbreak Kid, which, as you can see, just looks absolutely stunningly perfectly there with Stone Cold. I'm going to move the camera down a little bit so that we can see it from this angle. If the camera would stick. See, this is the problem, like, you know, you get it into the right position and then it just falls. Camera, please. Almost. There, that's a little better. So, yes, there we have Stone Cold and HBK, which of course was one of the bigger starting rivalries from WrestleMania 14, which really kicked off Stone Cold as the champion. We'll have Undertaker back here, Vince McMahon overlooking the entire thing, and of course the King of Kings in the background here. So to do just a little bit more of side comparisons, let's bring it in the Storm Collectibles Hulk Hogan, which is almost the same size as Stone Cold. Let's just move you guys away for just a second. And there you can see the greatest match that never happened. Stone Cold a little bit taller than the Huckster. To bring in the other Elite range, let's bring in our quite insane looking Edge, and you can see that those two stand face to face with one another. Not sure if Edge and Stone Cold ever had a match. Maybe they did. Maybe when Edge was younger. Now, Roman, I know for a fact, has never had a match with Stone Cold, but you can see that Roman a tiny bit taller than Stone Cold. Not by much, but that does make sense. Roman is a big boy. And lastly, just to bring in the AEW line, just to show the height difference there, you can see that Stone Cold is almost just a bit taller than Kenny Omega. But you can see that they are into the same scale proportion. And you've got this really weird tag of Kenny Omega and Edge. In fairness, I would pay good money to see Kenny Omega and Edge tagged together. That would be very cool. So, that is it for this video, folks. I hope you all enjoyed my absolute nonsense. If you did enjoy it, please give us a like, share and subscribe. Please leave a comment. I do try to respond to all of them. If you want to talk to me, you can find me in the Discord in the description below. And we will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.